Hello and good evening. My name is Frederick Jonahoe, and this is my presentation on Amazon.com. Amazon is a very famous name, and sometimes we think that it was always named Amazon, but that's actually not the case. Amazon's official first name was Carbarara. The name was later changed because they wanted the name to start with the first letter of the alphabet, and they found inspiration from the Great River in South America. Amazon was first founded in 1994 by a man named Jeff Bezos in Seattle, Washington, and it was initially only an online bookstore. They later expanded their business to include just about anything. By July of 1995, Amazon had shipped books to all 50 states and 45 different countries. In 1998, Amazon expanded into music, selling CDs and DVDs, and it even launched 125,000 titles. Amazon has a lot of competitors though, especially because its business reaches into various sectors. Some of Amazon's biggest competitors for its retail are Target, Walmart, eBay, and Best Buy. For the subscription services that Amazon offers, its major competitors are Netflix, Apple, and Google. And in the web service category, Amazon also competes with Oracle, Microsoft, and IBM. Amazon's income statements are quite impressive. Some of the primary sources of Amazon's income are $66.08 billion in its net sales in its retail sector. Some of that sales increased during the COVID pandemic. Amazon received some criticism for profiting during such uncertain times. However, their profit was substantial. Some of the other sources of income that they have are advertising, in which they earned $9.72 billion. So Amazon sells, but they also allow for other people to sell through their own website. This is called third-party selling services. And in that sector, they made $30.32 billion. In their web service, they made $17.78 billion. This web service includes cloud computing and certain app developments. They also made $8.12 billion in their subscription services, such as Amazon Prime. And in their cash flows, Amazon had an operating cash flow that was up 25% in 2019, up 72% in 2020, but unfortunately it experienced a decrease in 29.88% in 2021. For Amazon's investing side, the cash flow from investing was up by 96% in 2019, a very substantial number. From 2019 to 2020, it went up from 96% and experienced a growth of 145%. On the financing side, Amazon's cash flow from financing was up in 2019, 31% from 2018, and it was down 89% in 2020, but rebounded in 2020 and was up 669% in 2021. So Amazon is unique in that 80% of their cash was generated from operation and 20% from working capital from 2019 to 2020. Amazon receives a lot of cash flow, but they also reinvest a lot of their cash. It's a company that's famous for it. So some of the areas that they reinvest their cash include software, website development, purchasing marketable securities, and cash. For the entire 2021 year, Amazon recorded negative fee cash flow and operating income growth was minimal. Inflow are the proceeds of sales, equipment, and the sale of marketable securities. And Wayfair, Shopify, and eBay stocks were affected by Amazon sales disappointment recently. Amazon's ratio analysis. So Amazon's liquidity current ratio was at the highest 3.09 as of 2021 and was 1.14. The reason this number is significant is because it was 73% lower than the 1,117 other companies in retail. This indicates that although a very strong company like Amazon may have difficulty meeting its current obligations, some of the other companies are even worse off. Amazon's debt to equity ratio and capital and debt to assets ratio all improved from 2019 to 2021. Amazon was struggling to maintain the rapid profit of 2020. It is expected to continue to rise since they must deal with rising wages and labor shortages. Although Amazon's profitability has maintained steady growth over the last 10 years, its profit has significantly decreased in the retail division because of areas such as higher wages, higher shipping costs, and higher costs of real estate that they own, such as warehouses. And all of this summarized is that Amazon's strategy is functioning really well, especially with the competition, relative to the competition that it has in the retail department. Because of this, it's expected that their growth will continue into the future. So the Amazon's market valuation, as of this current moment, Amazon is currently priced at $2,490. This number is significant because it means that investors believe that purchasing even a small share of Amazon is worth $2,490. There are 508.54 million shares of Amazon, or AMZN as it's known as a stock. This means that the current market evaluation is $1.26 trillion. Amazon's earnings per share is 64.81. This makes its price to earning ratio 38.42. Amazon is a leader in online shipping and delivery, as well as cloud computing. Amazon experienced tremendous growth during the COVID pandemic, as I previously mentioned, and because of it, the stock rose $1,900 from March of 2020. The stock rose from $1,900 in March of 2020 to $3,400 in August. But, however, from that moment, Amazon's price has stagnated over some time, and it fell back down to $2,400. Amazon is currently reaching maturity. This is a phase where the stock begins to stagnate and the growth is not quite as explosive as it once was. So Amazon has specific strengths and weaknesses like all other companies. Amazon's weaknesses are very few compared to its competitors. So some of Amazon's weaknesses are its lack of influence in other countries, such as other continents, such as Asia and Africa. The continents of Asia and Africa are often dominated by some of their competitors, like eBay or even Alibaba. Amazon has experienced a tremendous loss of profit in the currency exchange that they have to undergo. The total loss of profits that they experienced was around $891 million lost simply from exchanging the currency. Amazon also offers free shipping for its Prime members, and while this is an effective incentive for people to search on Amazon, it results in a decreased margin of profits for them. This is considered a weakness, even though technically Amazon Prime has made it some money as well. Amazon also has a lack of control over the certain goods that are sold in their company, since they themselves do not sell everything on their company or on their website. However, Amazon's strengths are very impressive. The primary strength that Amazon has over its two primary competitors, being eBay and Google, are just the amount of net income that it earns compared to those two. The size of the net income that Amazon experiences is much, much larger than eBay and Google, and this allows Amazon increased freedom to do certain projects that they previously were not able to. And this also allows them to take on certain risks, which could potentially pay out in their favor. Another one of the strengths of Amazon is that it is one of the most recognized brands in the entire world. There are few who are unfamiliar with the company of Amazon. And while this is also true with eBay and Google, Amazon is perhaps even more recognizable than them. As well, another one of the strengths of Amazon is that its distribution system is perhaps the most advanced in the world. This helps it minimize the profits lost from free shipping, but unfortunately they still do experience some loss in that area. So the future, Amazon's future prospects. So the research indicated that Amazon will continue to go up. Some of the reasons that the analysts are so confident in Amazon's continued success is because it has certain areas of the world that it has not reached. One of the primary markets that Amazon is beginning to penetrate into is India. Amazon will also continue to search into other business aspects, so they will continue to do research into e-pharmacy, and e-groceries. Amazon's consumer loyalty is among the highest. Amazon has a continued dedication to innovation, so they continue to reinvest in their company to better its success in the future. And another one of the reasons that the analysts have a lot of confidence in Amazon is that even after the pandemic, when it experienced a huge swell, Amazon did not immediately drop back off, but in fact continued some profits even afterwards. And it's because of these reasons that I believe Amazon will continue to go up. So viewing Amazon from a biblical worldview, some of the stuff that Amazon has done to give back to its community is that it implemented the Amazon Smile program in 2013. Amazon Smile is an alternative to shopping on the primary Amazon website, but the benefit of using Amazon Smile is that it gives back 0.5% of the revenue generated from certain products, and it gives that away to a charity of your choice. And the charities offered are over 1 million different charities. And in its first 5 years, Amazon was able to give $100 million to the charity of the user's choosing. And this is quite impressive. $100 million is an impressive number, but we have to remember that Amazon is one of the largest companies in the world, and $100 million makes up only a fraction of the overall revenue of the company. And this makes Amazon a little bit difficult to view as a Christian company, because even though they're making significant efforts, we have to remember as Christians that everything that we have is a gift from God. And that way, when we look at it, we should not be hesitant to part with any of our material possessions. We should be very willing and in fact excited to give those away, because we recognize that they are freely given to us. But unfortunately, Amazon has had some hesitancy in the philanthropy department. One of my favorite verses of talking about this subject is Corinthians 9:6. Corinthians 9:6 states, the point is this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows bountifully will also reap bountifully. So this allows us to take the perspective that parting with our money is not a bad thing. In fact, it's something that we should be excited to do. And not only do we give as an act of worship, but we also recognize that God wants to give back to us when we worship Him. So this should encourage us to be much more charitable and generous to the people around us. And these are the references that I used for my project. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of your evening.